have our live workshop happening, we invited another student again, Miss Rita, for today. She is an authentic and dedicated senior high school STEM student with a passion to develop oneself by serving the community with the best that she can. So, despite her fears of public speaking and engagement, she shaped a person who is willing to step out of her comfort zone and start inspiring her fellow youth. So Miss Kyla right here sets her goals not only for herself but also for others. So joining us today is Janelle Kyla Cruz. So hi Kyla, welcome on screen virtually.
Good afternoon, Miss Tonie and Miss Rita.
Hi, Kyla.
Hi, Kyla. Ayan. Guys, so Kyla, gusto lang kita makilala a little bit more. So I know you're taking up STEM in senior high school, but what are you planning to take up once you actually go to college?
My goal is to be a psychology student.
Psychology student. So I'm sure Miss Rita will be able to help you a lot with that path. But of course, we're going to ask you a bit more about your current learning goals. Can you share those with us?
Okay, so good afternoon again, Miss Rita and Tonie. Glad to be here with you today. So to share my learning goals, I honestly do have a lot of goals, but currently my learning goals are to be able to establish good communication skills, since in college, for sure, there will be a lot of orals and public speaking. Another goal I have is to build a better self-esteem, because I know that as I enter another phase of my life, I must have a good mindset for me to be able to achieve my other goals. To add to this, another goal I have is to be able to establish a good work ethic that will be aligned to the course I will enter in college. And lastly, one of my main goals is to be able to fully step out of my comfort zone as I enter college, where I will be experiencing a different level of learning and of course have a new set of environments around me.
Grabe, Miss Rita, parang parte siya ng first episode natin. Napaka-specific na ng goals niya and she actually broke it down already. So what do you think of her current learning goals?
I really admire them. They're really wonderful. I mean, you have identified some of the most important ones, and I think you have contextualized it to yourself, right? Like the self-esteem. If you feel that's something you need to build up, it means that you have been able to, think about your needs, right? And then zero in on them. So that's wonderful. Work ethic is something everyone needs. It's going to bring you a long way. And then again, I think Tonie introduced you that, you are sometimes fearful of speaking up in public. So again, you've identified that. Although you're doing really well, Kyla, so I don't think you have a problem.
So again, Kyla, I think you have a question for Miss Rita. Please do seize the moment as we have our expert on board here today.
I'm currently in my last year in high school, and this year I will be turning college. So with this, I'm having second thoughts on some of my goals that I'm not sure of which path my college life will bring me. So my question is, how can I rebuild or recreate the goals I currently have?
Well, you have some goals that are more about, your bigger life purpose, like your bigger goals in life. And I think that's a good place to start, because if you remember my previous analogy, you need to be very clear about your destination, and then you can recreate the ways that you get there, right? So maybe, I don't know if a personal mission statement exercise will be helpful for you, but you already are very clear about some big life goals. But maybe try and look for a personal mission statement, and then you can recreate the different ways that you need to get there, right? But the other thing is to just try out maybe some of the things that you're currently thinking of, and then see if is there a way to try it out before you're actually enrolled in that course, right? Like my example with Tonie working in her Tito's law office. So if you can try out something that's related, so that you get a feel, it's not only finding the spark, but the opposite. Is this like suddenly it's like parang hindi ito ang gusto ko, no? So that's the other thing that you might need to be sensitive to. So it's the level of goals. You won't change the bigger life goals, or at least you won't change them too often, but the steps to getting there might be the ones that you can recreate.
Yun nga, parang what we talked about earlier, Miss Rita, that it's all about trying and finding out ways to try and figure out what really works for you. And again, going back, kung alin nga naman talaga ang may sparks for you, Kyla. But I think you have a follow-up question for that one. Sulitin na natin ang time natin with Miss Rita this afternoon.
Follow-up question to my question earlier is, what is the importance of recreating or resetting my goals?
The world changes a lot faster. The world is very volatile. And I'm sure you've heard of the phrase VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So we have to do a lot of recalibrating and more often than before, when I was young, let's say. But the other thing is you're changing, and you really are, it's hard for us to know immediately. So the being reflective, the recalibration, the reassessing is very important. The other thing is that we have to be open to ambiguity. Some of us get paralyzed because hindi pa klaro eh. Like, I don't know, maybe you will not somebody might not fill in the application form for college because that person is waiting for the time when you know exactly what course to take. That might not happen. So you have to be open to, I think I'll just try this for now and let's see. It's my best educated guess for now. So we have to be open to this kind of ambiguity more and more nowadays.
Right. That's actually really nice, Miss Rita, because I feel like a lot of people who are going into college or just making major life decisions basically tend to get paralyzed by the amount of choices that they have, diba? Kasi parang I'm sure Kyla can relate kasi now that she's in senior high school, she's starting to think psychology, or I'm sure meron ka pang ibang iniisip apart from psychology if yun ba talaga. But again, you just have to sometimes take the leap. I mean, just summarizing in a little way, yung sinabi ni Miss Rita, just take the leap and figure out if it's really what you want. Because sometimes if you get paralyzed by choice, you end up not making any progress at all. So, yeah.
I want to add something. I suddenly thought of something. Nowadays, there are careers that you can invent yourself, right? Like a startup of something, a product that, nobody else ever thought of, right? So there are careers and special things you can do that haven't been invented yet. So that's another reason why it's okay. And it really is a must that you keep on rethinking, revisiting your goals, etc. So especially for you, there's so much ahead of you.
Right. It's one of the most exciting parts in your life, yung bago ka pumasok ng college. It's only gonna get brighter ahead from now, and now that we're also starting to transition into face-to-face classes. So I'm super excited for you, Kyla, and we're really happy to have had you for this live workshop today. But before we say goodbye to you naman, Kyla, can you share what your key takeaway is from our talk here with Miss Rita?
An insight I got is to have a personal mission statement, as what Miss Rita mentioned, because having this will allow us to revisit the goals we wrote down. And with this, it will let us know the stepping stones that will lead us to achieve these goals.
All right. So, Kyla, we look forward to your personal mission statements. Share mo yan sa amin in the future. But of course, good luck, God bless, and we wish the best for you. Thank you so much, Kyla.
Good luck, Kyla.